this is a problem that exists that we discovered because of our trying to fix what was happening with the sewage system. So we've undertaken to actually rectify that as well. I can give the public of Barbados and anybody who's concerned about the ecology that the Barbados Water Authority is not looking, we own this problem. We will do what is necessary to return the swamp to the situation it was and to the condition it was before this happened. So even when we get the fix done, we are going to continue our remediation efforts until we are satisfied, until the people responsible for the swamp are satisfied, until all of the environmentalists are satisfied that the swamp is back to a pristine swamp and the natural balance of the ecological habitat has been maintained. So with us the whole way, and I'm trying to, it's important that I make this point, it is not just about fixing the pipe. It's about fixing the pipe, fixing the near shore, making sure nobody gets sick, making sure the swamp comes back, keeping the sewage off it. There's so many considerations and we're balancing all. But it is our intention at the end of this that Barbados is back to where it was before this disaster happened 3.5 years ago, and actually in a way better position, because at the end of it all we're going to have a new sewage treatment facility.
Minister, you give an outline for Baird that said they give you the measurements 500, 1,000, 1,500. Which one is being considered? And my second question would be, what is going to be the future of the outfall at Needham's Point? Because you said that it's been there for so long and it hasn't been checked, so you don't know if there are any breaches.
We are going, sorry, let me get technical. The outfall we're going is how far?
We're going to go out 1,000 meters with the temporary outfall.
And then to 1,400 meters.
1,400 meters in permanent.
Right. So we are assured that up to 500 meters, based on the depth of the water and the configuration, that should be reasonable at this stage. But to err on the side of caution, we're actually taking it all the way to 1,000 meters. The eventual outflow that goes out there is going to be a massive, massive system. And that, as the permanent outflow, is going to be 1,400 meters off, 1.4 kilometers off. But we're going out to 1 kilometer, which everybody accepts is more than sufficient. You're going to have pretty much no ecological impact on the near shore. With respect to the outfall off Needham's Point, as I said, I want to keep all of our options open. So even while we're constructing the plant, I would still like to have all my options open. So if we can fix that line, we will continue to fix that line. Because if you have, I don't ever want to be in this situation again. So if we have an issue at the plant, and then we happen to have an issue with the new outfall, then I still want to be able to have the fallback position of the old outfall. But I'm saying this may all be a moot point, because at the end of the day, what is leaving the plant when we have the new plant commission should be something that we actually are not trying to dump, that we're actually trying to use, and it's a valuable commodity in Barbados. But we're looking to keep all our options open, and that involves finding the problems and fixing all of those options.
Okay. Just clarification, because sometimes you say when we create a new plan, and sometimes you say when we upgrade. Have you decided what we're going to do? Are we going to upgrade both plants, or are we going to create a new plan?
So the Bridgetown plant is actually at the secondary level. So the upgrade, the Bridgetown plant was built with the possibility of upgrading to tertiary in mind. So to answer on the Bridgetown side, it should be a relatively easy task to do we know what is necessary on the Bridgetown side to upgrade it to tertiary. So that's not a big issue for us. It's just to get the money to do it, right? Our plant at the South Coast, you ever been to the Bridgetown plant? the abrasion plant has 2 big tanks. So a lot of processes going in there. So we just need it one step further. If you look at what comes out of the abrasion plant, what comes out of the abrasion plant is crystal clear, right? And it has almost no smell. If you actually take a cup of it, and if you did not know, you would think it's water from the pipe, right? So, yeah, almost. But if you did not know, you would actually think it is water from the pipe. So the next step is relatively easy there. The South Coast plant was not built with an upgrade in mind. So we need to look now at what is necessary. Can we use the plant for the purpose of the first step of treatment, and then build on and expand the plant to take it the next 2 steps to get to tertiary? We don't know, right? We suspect we can, but the reality is it may end up being cheaper to just design and build a whole new plant than trying to force the existing plant to become a part of that. And the other aspect of that is, even if the design allows it to be incorporated in, the fact is the plant is old. It has not been maintained over the last 10 years. A lot of the equipment is coming on to end of life that will actually need to be replaced anyway. So why, we're faced with all these thoughts, why replace that equipment if we're looking to upgrade properly? So the BWA has to give us a report. They're commissioning somebody to do an assessment, and then depending on whoever you use for funding, if you get funding from one of the international lenders, then they may require that their people do the report and the assessment so that they're satisfied that it is what we say it is. So that report, we're pushing that. We've already started speaking to the funding agencies. We're pushing that. As soon as we're in a position to tell you something, we will tell you. We will tell you what it costs is. We will tell you exactly what the design is. But the good thing for it is plants follow a basic design. So it's not that someone has to design a plant from scratch. You can look at the design of an existing plant, and once you have sufficient land space, you can take that exact same design, plunk it down right there in Graeme Hall, and hit the ground running. Right? So we're considering all the options. Once there's something to tell you, I will come back and tell you. I mean, you got to be honest with yourself that we've been quite open up front with these smooth parts and the parts that cause us problems. Just like to say as well, one of the gentlemen behind me, Mr. Lindo, stand up please. Mr. Lindo has been a fixture at the Barbers Water Authority for enough years, and 40 something years, 49 years. He was there before I was born. And he is retiring at the end of this month. I've probably never seen a happier man. But I just want to acknowledge the work that Mr. Lindo has put in. Mr. Lindo has been there every night on this plant. He's one of the people that I call for advice. And very often we only honor people. We honor people and it makes no difference to people anymore. I just want to say that to get somebody who's stuck it out for half a century in one place is very, very rare. And his contribution to the Barbers Water Authority cannot be understated. And I just want him to know from my ministry and from the board that Mr. Lindo, we thank you so much for your service. Sorry. If you pray, you can make me shame here. On behalf of the Ministry of Energy and Water Resources, on behalf of the board of the Barbers Water Authority, I believe on behalf of the majority of your fellow workers, I want to thank you for your near half century of sterling service to the Water Authority. I, for one, am going to miss you. I know you're probably not going to miss my constant phone calls, but we couldn't get as far as we've gotten without you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate it. Certainly appreciate it. Thank you.